proclaimed king. He seceded from the United States, although he became a Michigan legislator for 2 terms. So we have his signature in this book. He was eventually assassinated by his followers, but he lived his early life in the town of Hanover. Over here in this frame we have the 37 post office cancellations that I designed to commemorate the Chautauqua County Bicentennial. So there's 37 different post office cancels, and some people went around during the early part of this year and got the cancels at post offices to preserve the history. Can you come in here a little bit?
That's probably about it for that.
That's about it?
You didn't have more cord.
Yeah, if you have more cord, that would be great. Okay, thank you. Here we have a wooden cabin. This cabin was built by Everett Burmaster. Now he's the same man who saved the fiddle. He's the same man who cut off the slices of the Hanover elm. Everett Burmaster built this cabin as a model. Then he used this to build this concrete cabin right here in this picture. He tried to put the cabin next to his aunt's tombstone in Smith Mills Cemetery. Cemetery Association in 1934 said, no, you can't do it. It's not like the other stones. That was pretty ironic because it was her family who donated the land for the cemetery. And her ancestors lived there in a log cabin. So that's why he wanted the log cabin there. So Burmaster kept this concrete log cabin at his house into the 1960s, and before he died he gave it to a friend of his, Bill Snyder, to preserve. Bill Snyder held on to it until about 1992, and then he told me to take it. So I had it in my backyard. I didn't know what to do with it, so I finally went to the Cemetery Association and I said, can we just put it back in the cemetery where he wanted it in the first place? So in 2001 I went to the Cemetery Association. These are the Cemetery Association people in this newspaper article, and asked them permission to put it into the cemetery. So we put it right there on a piece of concrete. There it is next to his aunt's tombstone where he originally wanted it, only it took 66 years to get it there. So that's another pretty interesting Hanover story. And then we have a couple others right here I can tell you about. This is an 1841 print of the wreck of the Erie. 241 people lost their lives when this steamship sank after it burned. It was filled with immigrants going from Buffalo out west, and many of them lost their lives. They put some carboys of turpentine too close to the boiler, and the turpentine heated up, exploded, and burned the ship. Many of the victims floated onto Silver Creek shores and were buried in the Silver Creek Cemetery. Over here we have a baseball signed by Howard Emke. Howard Emke was a World Series baseball player from Silver Creek. Here's his picture. This is a calendar I put together in 2004 commemorating Howard Emke. I have 18 of his baseball cards in here. He pitched in the 1929 World Series. He was on the Philadelphia Athletics. He pitched a record 13 strikeouts, and he beat the Chicago Cubs 3-1. He even got one of the hits for the Philadelphia team. It was a total surprise that he would be pitching because he was at the end of his career. But Connie Mack, who was one of the greatest baseball coaches who ever lived, selected him to pitch the first game of that 1929 World Series, and Howard Emke went down in fame. But he grew up in Silver Creek, he went to Silver Creek High School, and he played for the Silver Creek Horseshoes baseball team. So I put this calendar together, and a copy of this went to the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, and it's filled with Emke baseball cards, and Emke baseball cards and Emke pictures. And at the same time that we did the calendar, I put up 2 historical markers to Howard Emke, located one at his home, the Emke family home, and one is located in the ballpark where the kids play ball. At the same time, I did a post office cancellation with a ball diamond here, using a baseball stadium stamps to commemorate Howard Emke Day in 2004. And the county executive proclaimed it as Howard Emke Day in Chautauqua County in 2004. So this was the calendar that we did it as a keepsake, and I put all the pictures of Howard Emke. There's a model of the glove with his name on it right there. When he became famous in the World Series, they put out a model, a baseball glove with his name on it, and the glove is right over here on the shelf. So this right here is the actual Emke model glove with his name in the lower right-hand corner from about 1929. Those are probably the main stories of Hanover. There's a lot of other little stories here that I could tell you, and maybe we should do just one more, because this man is quite famous, and I should tell you about him. George F. Abbott grew up in Forestville and became a Broadway producer. This is his picture here. He produced over 120 Broadway plays, produced, directed, acted, or wrote over 120 Broadway plays. He grew up in Forestville, New York, and we have a New York State historical marker dedicated to Abbott put up in Forestville. There's a book called Mr. Abbott that talks about his life, and I have other pictures back here that people can look at dealing with George Abbott. There's a lot of other stories here from Hanover, but I better stop now. And with this on film, people can see the history in video fashion, or they can call me, talk to me. Vince Martonis, and I have 65 newsletters that detail a lot of Hanover history. They can get copies of those at the Hanover History Center in Silver Creek at 68 Hanover Street, or they could call me and I could provide copies so they have the history now.
My name is Sally Bulger, and I'm Secretary of Chautauqua County Antique Equipment Association. Our display here at the History Fair is items made in Chautauqua County, and most everything was donated by the members from the grape industry and the tool industry and the dairy industry and the beer industry and baskets. That's about what we got. And our annual show is next week on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, August 19th, 20th, and 21st, 9 to 5. We'd like to see as many people there. We have working farm equipment, working equipment from all kinds of industries, a sawmill, a working blacksmith shop, a working print shop, weaving and things of interest to women in the museum, and antique cars. We'd appreciate many people who would like to come down and visit.
Hi, I'm Andy Dufresne. I'm the Executive Director with the Concord Great Belt Heritage Association. We have a number of projects that we're working on to bring visitors to the area, and also to promote the grape industry in the communities of the Great Belt region, which we often say goes from the Silver Creek to Harbor Creek. Of course, one of the big projects that we're working on is the development of a Grape Discovery Center. We have a location, 8305 West Main Road in Westfield. We have a building that was a former auto dealership, and in phase one we've remodeled the building, and now we are in phase two, which is to raise some additional funds to complete the interior of the building and move towards opening of that facility. We hope that in 2012 we can open the Grape Discovery Center for visitors and be able to tell the story of 150 years of grape development and the northern part of Chautauqua and Erie County, Pennsylvania, and all the other wonderful venues that there are for visitors to our area, and tell about the history, do some product tasting, and let people take home some products and arts and crafts and great products from our region. So we are moving forward. We have to have some patience, but we're pleased that we are working on a Grape Discovery Center.
Is there any way anyone can get involved?
Well, we do have a Facebook page, so if you want to look up Grape Discovery Center, Eastern Lake Erie, you can like us, and when we have a little bit of information, we do that on our Facebook page. We do have a website, www.concordgrapebelt.org, where we put up reports and other information. And so contact me on Facebook or email and4833@windstream.net. But do a search for the Grape Discovery Center, Eastern Lake Erie, and find our little Facebook connection and like us. And when there's a little bit of information, we'll share it, and you can share information there also.
Hello, my name is Captain MacDonald. I am the cadet commander at the Jamestown Composite Squadron of Civil Air Patrol. Civil Air Patrol is the auxiliary of the United States Air Force. We are a completely volunteer organization, and we consist of cadets from ages 12 to 18 and senior members ages 18 all the way up to whatever age. We do a lot of aerospace education. We are always trying to find new, innovative ways to teach America's youth about aerospace and how airplanes work, how they fly, and also with the space programs as well, because as many people say, space is the future of America. Secondly, we do a lot of cadet programs. Since Civil Air Patrol is the auxiliary of the United States Air Force, our grades assist a lot with the military. And we also have a set chain of command in our uniforms and things like that. Lastly, Civil Air Patrol does a lot of emergency services, meaning if a plane was to go down or a person was to go missing, we can help go out and find them. We're always training to help serve our community, state, and nation to the best of our abilities. Jamestown Composite Squadron meets at the Chautauqua County Airport on Thursdays from 6 to 9. Come check us out sometime.
We're here from the town of Sheridan, and I'm Mary Langworthy, president, and we've got our display up here today for the Bicentennial from Chautauqua County. Anyway, so I don't know if you can see our doors here. These doors tell the whole history of Sheridan, and we used those for our Bicentennial display in 2008. So we brought them up again today, and everybody's enjoyed seeing those. And it kind of tells the story of Sheridan. We've added a few artifacts that we had up in our museum, which is in the center of Sheridan, in the former Oddfellows Hall on Route 20. And for instance, this small dress here is from 1833, and we thought that was a little bit different to see. And then we have some other artifacts in that book, or in that case there. We have a lot of artifacts in the museum, but we didn't have the opportunity to bring everything today, so we're just kind of going with that. We have some newsletters which we publish twice a year from the Historical Society, and we also have some original canning labels that were from the canning factories in Sheridan, which there were 2 of them, and they were very popular in the earlier years. And so someone gave us those, and we are having them here today. And then we also have our newsletter in packets of 5 or 15 here, and selling just a few little odd and end books in that. And we're raffling off tomorrow our basket here, which is all from Sheridan wineries and all the fruit stands and nurseries in Sheridan. And so we're selling chances on that. And we're very happy that they were able to help us out with that. And most people have gone to supper here today, but we had a full crew here this morning, and of course tomorrow again. The town of Sheridan was formed in 1827, and it was at that time, that when we got the name Sheridan from the poet Sheridan. And we